Words do not deserve to grace this clip. So I'm not going to talk over it. I'll start talking when the clip's over. See you guys in a couple seconds. Peace.
On the beat. Цель уничтожена.
Pipeline ready for deployment.
Цель.
Alright, wasn't that badass? That was pretty cool. I was pretty happy when I got that. But anyway, what's up guys? You know it's me, Anthony, and this game was using a gun that I am not too fond of. Well, I love the gun, but I don't like the setup. The setup is not one of my favorites, but I don't know, I mess around a lot, do stupid shit. You know, that's just how I do things. When I play games, I don't give a damn, and I play like a man. I'm sorry, El Presador, for stealing your line, but it's an awesome ass line. But what I wanted to talk about today was how they have fucked up one of my favorite shows. 2.5 Men. I'm a huge fan of that show, and just recently have I become a fan of the show. I think I've been watching it for like 5 months now, so not since it came out back in like 2003, but I've become a really huge fan of it, and there's new episodes out, and Charlie Sheen is no longer in the show. Charlie Sheen flipped the fuck out, pulled a Britney Spears, and he's not on the show anymore. And it kind of sucks because I'm a huge fan of the show because of Charlie, because of the chemistry that the cast had together. Once you get that chemistry going, it's really hard to get that back. And so they brought Ashton Kutcher into the show, and I have a problem with Ashton Kutcher being on the show. And maybe it's a more personal problem than it is for other people, but I can't see him as funny anymore. I just recently read an article a couple months back, and I can't see him funny anymore. So if you still want to see him as a funny guy from, like, you know, that 70s show or whatever, stop watching the video now. I'll give you a couple seconds. Just leave. Go. No, you can't leave. Alright, now that these people are gone, Ashton Kutcher, I read an article about him, and for those of you who are subscribed to me or have watched my videos before, you guys know that I'm really into health and wellness. Hell, I'm going to school for it. It's the thing that really just kind of wakes me up in the morning and gets me going. I love talking about it, and if I don't watch myself right now, I'll go off on a little tangent. But anyway, I read an article about Ashton Kutcher and the way that he trains. And he trains what I like to call apocalypse training. I'm a believer in God. I believe in God, and I mean, it's not a religion thingy. It's, you know, it's not that. It's not put $1 in the box. It's not all about that for me. It's not you're going to hell. It's more of just a relationship thing for me. It's, you know, I try to be a good person, and you know, he comforts me, and I know that he made me, but he believes that, you know, that he needs to be ready for if the shit hits the fan. And I'm a big believer in that. I agree with him wholeheartedly, but he trains, and he trains a specific way. He has a fighting style that he trains with. It's called Krav Maga. And this shit is just beastly. It's actually an Israeli form of fighting. It's used by their special forces, and the thing that really is amazing to me about that fighting style, and the reason why I want to get into it myself, is because it changes every year. It's not the same thing. You know, there are fighting styles and disciplines out there that of which I have mad respect for. I respect fighters so much because it is an art form by no means. It is a definite art form, and I never question that. But Krav Maga changes every year. If it finds something that's a better counter for a certain attack, or if it finds that one of its attacks can be countered, it changes. And that's something awesome because you need to constantly learn. And I honestly feel, I got quick scope there, but I honestly feel that in order to be as good as you possibly can be, you need to constantly change things. You need to constantly switch it up and make things hard. If it gets easy, the same goes for training. If it gets easy, then you need to change it because you're going to plateau and you're not going to see any difference. And so with that whole thing, he trains with Krav Maga, and he does it all the time, but he also goes out in the woods and he tries to survive for a couple days on just like simple things like water and whatever he can find out there. And what he does is he puts himself through this because he wants to be ready. Because if the shit goes down, he wants to be ready. And honestly, that's a big part of why I stay in the shape that I'm in. I try to stay in the best shape I possibly can because I want to be ready as well. I don't want to be one of those people who is unable to defend themselves and can't handle the things that are going to come from, you know, the shit going down. That's the only way I can really describe it. I mean, I have a feeling that it could happen, and if it happens when I'm alive, if, you know, for us who go to church, they call it the rapture, and for those of us who don't go to church, you guys probably just call it the apocalypse or some other crazy shit. Anyway, if that happens though, I want to be ready and I want to be able to take care of myself. And that's a big reason why so now I respect Ashton Kutcher, because I read that article and I respect him. I don't see him as the funny, goofy guy from that '70s show anymore. I see him as a mature man who knows what he needs to do and is going to do anything he can to protect his family. I see him as a serious as a serious man is the only way I can really describe it. So that being said, now that I see him that way, it's kind of hard to laugh at him now, because I see this guy, he's my role model, and I mean, I don't know, it's just really hard to laugh at him. But maybe that's my personal thing. Other people, you know, they don't know about that, so they think he's still the goofy guy from that '70s show, and that's cool, that's awesome. I in a way, I wish I hadn't read that article, because I'm pretty sure I may be able to enjoy the show a little more. But at the same time, there's other issues with the show. I mean, you don't see Jake as much as you did in previous seasons. And the other thing that I've really been noticing is there's not really that chemistry there anymore. The jokes aren't as funny, and it's just kind of just weird. It's kind of like they're just throwing the show together just to keep it running. And I mean, it's predictable. It's predictable. It's not as funny as before. The jokes aren't as constant. I'm not laughing as much as I used to. And this week, I was really concerned when I was watching it this week. I actually caught myself kind of just watching it. I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is freaking hilarious. But yet I go back on the episodes that I have saved on my DVR, and I'm laughing my ass off. And honestly, I have to say, thank goodness that I haven't seen every single episode prior to this current season, because had I seen every episode already, I wouldn't even want to watch the show anymore. But they constantly show the reruns, and I'm really happy about that because I can watch those. But I really hope that they turn it around a little bit. I hope they add some kind of dynamic, because right now it's just lacking things. It's lacking, you know, Rose being his stalker, Berta's not in the show as much. You know, it's just a lot of things with the show that it's missing. It's lacking something. You know, it's kind of like that cake with like no frosting on it, even though I'll eat cake even if it doesn't have frosting on it. But anyway, I just hope that the show gets better. And you know, that's like one of my favorite shows, so of course I'm gonna hope good things for it. And on the subject of shows, dude, Walking Dead recently started last week. I can't wait till Sunday because I get another episode I get to watch. I think I just got a triple right there. But I love that show. And honestly, if you haven't watched Walking Dead, if you haven't watched The Walking Dead, it's on AMC, it's on Sundays. I don't know the exact time. I think it's like 6 or 7 or maybe even later. It might be like at 9 o'clock. I'm sorry if I might get the time wrong. But anyway, watch that show, because that is a kick-ass show. If you like zombie shows, it's badass. It's really good, really well written, and the cast just fits together so well. It's so believable, and it's just an awesome show, honestly. And when I can find a show that holds my attention, that's when I know that I'm really, really, truly enjoying it, because there are a couple things that can't really grab me. It's books and it's shows, but I know that it's a good book if it grabs me, and I know it's a good show or a good movie if it grabs me. And I think that, you know, those two forms of entertainment, it's really hard to get my attention, but that's just how it is. But the thing is, and the upside to it all is, if it's good, then it really has me. And so Walking Dead is awesome. I hope they fix 2.5 Men, because they're having some issues right now. And I don't know, I want the show to be as funny as it used to be. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to ask you guys to do anything but just enjoy the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation that I had going on. Let me know what you guys think if you watch any of those shows. And as always, enjoy the video, have a nice day, and that's really all I got to say, guys. Peace.